Somebody famous once said that religion was the opiate of the masses, meaning that it's a form of social control which prevents people from transcending and realising the truth. The same, I would say, applies to people involved in competitive sports. And in my experience, because I love sports as a kid, I studied sports to a high level, I played sports to a reasonable level, and I was successful competitively. I was strong, I was fit, I could dominate people, and I was involved in that culture. And we're talking about football especially now. There is a culture in football, a male mob-like culture, which you learn a lot from, because this is the sort of like the dominant kind of social construct on the planet, really, when it comes to progressing and it comes to, the major institutions, boys clubs. Obviously we're talking about the highest ones. You've got Bullingdon Club and other secret societies, but ordinary working class fellows who come together and have a laugh and release all the stresses. Fair enough, life can be difficult, you need to blow off steam, have a laugh with the lads, have a drink. But there are many lads that sort of like, they live their whole life doing the same thing, and they never seem to move on away from the playground. I started to do this. My last 10 years from being 30, has been a sort of like a quite a difficult period, really, of refining my life, moving away from certain modes of behaviour, taking responsibility for myself, and breaking away, really. I've educated myself politically. I've become aware of, and I've had many spiritual realisations which have led me to believe that we're all connected, and that you have to take full responsibility for your own behaviours to basically get moved up and to live a more fulfilled life. And I think I see a lot of people. I was looking through my Facebook, which has brought about this idea. I've lost loads of friends over the years on Facebook, whatever you want to call them, friends, so-called friends, digital friends, I'm not bothered. But and a lot of them have been footballers who I once would have shared a commonality with, but since I've started talking about all these serious subjects, whether it be political, spiritual, religious, global, whatever, they just basically distanced themselves massively. It may have been hard work to be around, I'm aware of that, but I've just been doing my thing, really, and quite a lot of these lads, these footballing lads, I spent a lot of my footballing career playing in Heywood, and a lot of these people, looking through the other day, loads of them, in other aspects, because of what I've got into, and I've got into creativity and and community stuff and culture, I've gained loads of new friends, and and those friends that resonate with me at the moment, so life's great, but it's just interesting to sort of like look at the kinds of behaviours and hobbies that people are involved with, and how that can be problematic to maintaining relationships, as well as it can actually be a bit conflicting, really, because the truth is very unpopular and people don't like you when you talk about it, even if they might think you're wrong, but you're talking your personal truth, and you're not just talking about what score was United last week. So, in fact, one time, I'll tell you a story that just comes to mind, which this sums up the mentality sometimes of some of the footballing northern mentality. My wife used to support my football all the way through the years. We bring the kids a lot, we made it into a family thing, and it wasn't an issue, when I was playing for certain teams. But there was a team I was playing for years ago, Uli Bridge. We used to meet at Brown's Wine Bar, and my wife was coming in with me with my son, and the lads were looking at me through the windows as if I had two heads, because I was bringing my wife to watch a game, and it was like, you don't do that. I remember Billy Hilton looking at me like I was a frigging alien or something. You just don't do that. So, I love football. It's very dear to me, but at the same time, it is very limiting and brings with it a very limiting, masculine, mob-like mentality, which a lot of lads need to grow up out of. Okay, dudes.